Welcome to Thrive by the Rising Muse, the podcast where we dive deep into stories of resilience, faith, and creativity. Today's episode is extra special because we are welcoming back a familiar face, someone who has touched hearts with the children's series about kindness, safety, and empathy.
Yes. And we will be talking about storytelling, childhood lessons, and the way lived experiences are, like autism and being biracial, how it can transform into powerful tools and advocacy and creativity. So buckle up because this is going to be an inspiring and eye-opening conversation.
I'm Naty.
I'm Veda.
And we are here to thrive. And again, welcome to Thrive by the Rising Muse.
Yes.
Our guest today is Brooke Auckerman, the author of the beloved Loretta Owl series. Her newest release, Don't Talk to Strangers, is the fifth book in the collection, and it teaches children an essential lesson about safety and awareness while still keeping the charm and warmth that the readers love.
And Brooke is not only a children's book author, but also a promoter, advocate, and an inspiration. Her work stems from her own experiences with bullying, growing up biracial, and navigating life on the autism spectrum. Through Loretta Owl, she's spreading a message of kindness, safety, and empowerment to kids and families everywhere.
We're so happy to have her back.
Yes.
So welcome back to Thrive by the Rising Muse, Brooke.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So exciting to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
Whenever I talk about you, I call you Baby Brooke.
Yes, she does.
I do. From the first time I saw you, I'm like, Baby Brooke.
I'll tell you how excited. She called me this morning. She had forgotten what we were doing today. She said, "Who we have today?" And I said, "Brooke." Brooke, I'm excited.
You were my inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
You got her out of bed.
You got me out of bed, got me coming down, and coming to the studio. So thank you, Baby Brooke.
Can you tell us about what this new book, Don't Talk to Strangers, and what inspired you to this particular story?
So, when I'm not writing my books, I have another job. I work at my local amusement park, and I recently got promoted to manager of season passes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, our park has a chaperone policy that because kids made poor decisions, there were fights happening. So we made it that they have to have an adult with them to come to the park. So in the summer, that policy was after 4, but now that we're in the fall, it's in effect all day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, parents will drop their 8 to 10-year-old off by themselves, no adult, and then they'll come to me, and I take pride in my job because I want to protect everybody while they're there. And I say, "Oh, honey, where's your adult?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't have one." And I'm like, "Well, call your mom and I'll give you whatever you need from me, but I need to see a parent first." Well, they'll go up to strangers, tell them their name. So then I say, "Sir, do you know them?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so dangerous.
So I'm like, "Excuse me, ma'am or sir, do you know them?" And some of them will lie and say yes. And some of them will be honest and say no. And I'll say, "No, you're done for the day. You have to go home and come back another day." And then I tell the adult the same thing. So that inspired me to write Don't Talk to Strangers, because I feel like in this day and age, parents want to be their kid's best friend. They don't talk about stranger danger. And there's so many missing kid cases and terrible situations happening in the world that I felt like this story needed to be written.
I'm thinking about yesterday. Yesterday we had field day for our homeschoolers. It's a 4-year-old and a 14-year-old. Don't think I was not keeping an eye on the 14-year-old because he's old. Right. I mean, the 4-year-old, I don't have to keep an eye on him because he's attached to my legs.
Yeah, of course.
He's glued to me. Yeah. So usually, if he's not more than 4 feet from me, usually he's attached to my hip. But the 14-year-old, he's older, so I'm scanning all the time. Okay, so he had a white shirt, blue pants, and a black beanie for some reasons because he was hot as all get out. I don't understand. I didn't ask. With teenagers, you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was my point of reference. Okay, where's the black beanie? Where's the black beanie?
Yeah.
And at some point, the babies wanted to go to play at the playground. Well, I had the mom of the 4-year-old best friend, who I know she's even more strict than I am.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so I know she's going to watch him because she's going to have him even more eagle-eyed than even me, and I'm a
Hmm.
helicopter mom, so that I can still keep an eye on the 14-year-old that was still in the field day. So when you tell me a 8-year-old it's on his own at a park, I don't get it.
Yeah. And it's sad because the adults that don't even know the kids, they're like, well, what's the big deal? I just want to get them in. Well, you're responsible for this kid. If they get injured,
Yeah.
you're responsible for that.
Mm-hmm.
The kid could be going to a predator who
Hmm.
could take them somewhere else and do God knows what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, mind blown too early in the
And
conversation.
who's gonna be screaming when they come to pick up their child and their little Jimmy's nowhere around?
Right.
Right.
Or worse, too, when little Jimmy starts screaming, "This is not my parent, but you already vouched for me. Nobody's gonna
Hmm.
believe it."
Mm-hmm.
It's
Too much.
Yeah.
It is so much.
Wow. Okay.
While she catches her breath.
Yes.
We appreciate you telling us that scenario. Well, that truth.
Oh, it is.
About where you work and parents dropping off their kids.
Hmm.
The book starts with Loretta and her friends wanting to enjoy a fun day. What do you hope kids see in that balance between fun and responsibility?
Well, I hope that they see that they can go out, they can have fun with their friends, but be aware of your surroundings. If your
Mm-hmm.
friends are doing something that they have no business doing, doesn't mean you have to join in and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you have to go with that stranger just because they're not thinking and going with them. But to protect yourself because your safety is your number one priority. And if you are not a follower and a leader, your parent or guardian will trust you, and that shows that you have integrity and you could be left on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoo.
That's
Okay.
something. I mean, that makes the hair on your arms stand up.
I'm still okay. I'm going to be reeling for a while. I know me.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
It makes me think about a 3 or 4-year-old with no seat in the back seat of the car.
Yeah.
And you know what I call that, right? Winging it.
Winging it, yeah.
What we gonna do? We just gonna wing it. What?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good. It's not
Right.
safe,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not good, and it's not teaching the children responsibility.
Right.
No.
Right.
You know, it's like whatever. What's the problem?
The problem is if somebody hits you, the child dies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
That's good.
How did you approach teaching a serious concept like stranger danger, but in a way that wouldn't scare the kids, but also they would understand the message?
I decided to do it in a comedic and fun way.
Okay.
Because I wanted to keep the kids engaged in the story but entertained at the same time. So I wrote the story during the summer and I figured why not have them at an amusement park because kids love amusement parks.
Of course.
And then I thought of the strangers because there's two strangers in the book. There's Tanya Wolf that gets them inside of the park. And then there's Jack the lizard that's in her car that's trying to lure them in with candy. And to me, that's the funny part because what lizard eats candy and gummy worms?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the
I
easy
think
part.
it's good.
Because
I think it's great.
yeah, kids over puppies and candy. That's where they go.
I wanted to keep it light and fun just so they wouldn't be afraid to interact with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because the last thing we want is for children to walk around afraid of everybody.
Right. That's not the point of it.
And that's not the kind of life
Right.
that they deserve to lead.
Right.
No, that's why we're here. Because while they're in their world, we're watching over them.
Right.
So it's very, very important. I think that's great. Tell us what kind of feedback have you gotten from parents? teachers and young readers about your book?
Well, one of the parents is a family friend. She bought it for her granddaughter because she's a toddler. And
Oh,
she told me when because she's also my hairstylist. She told me when I was getting my hair done, girl, I'm so happy that you wrote this book. I had my granddaughter at the water park the other day and she's just walking up to people introducing herself.
Mm-hmm.
And now she doesn't do that as often because I taught her
Mm-hmm.
stranger danger with your book.
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's good.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then my brother, he's nonverbal on the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
and I gifted all of my books to his class.
Oh.
And his teacher said that my books have really made an impact in his classroom because he had a kid get upset and they were going to leave the classroom. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the students got up and took his hand and said, "Hey, remember what Miss Brooks said in her book? You can't go off by yourself. That's not safe."
That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Never leave anyone behind.
Yeah.
Yes, you are saving
Oh,
lives.
yes, you
Thank
Okay.
are.
you.
I'm remembering the story from when we went to the supermarket. I was trying to teach Mason about stranger danger.
Hmm.
And because he kind of still is that he goes to everybody and talks,
Very
Yeah.
friendly.
very very friendly, and he will hug a stranger, all kinds of stuff. So, and everybody, that's my friend, that's what he
Hmm.
says, that's my friend, or even says that's my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know these people. No, they're not
Yeah.
friends. So while I was explaining to him, people you know that you've talked to, not that you just have said hello, but that you know your family, those are your friends, your best friends. The rest are strangers. We went to the supermarket and he is in the buggy. He's going, is that a stranger? Loud as he could. Is that a stranger? Is that a stranger? Yes.
See, me would have said, yes, baby, they're all strangers. We don't know nobody in here, okay?
Yeah.
Is that a stranger? Oh my God. I was
She
like,
was trying to be, politically correct.
Yeah.
You don't want them to feel uncomfortable. No, me, yes, they're all strangers, okay? So anybody come near you, you start screaming.
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, maybe. Look, we're going to talk about the creative writing process, okay? You've now published 5 Loretta Owl books. How has your writing process changed from your first book to now?
Well, my writing process has changed a lot. With Be Kind, Loretta Owl, I just used my own experiences with bullying to write that story. But now that I've written other books, I conduct a lot of research. Like for the Stranger Danger one, I was doing research on the best way to write it to where kids will understand the theme and message I'm trying to convey.
Mm-hmm.
Do you write with a specific child or audience in mind, or do you just let the story lead you?
Well, it depends on the subject matter, but sometimes I do have a specific audience or child in mind, but sometimes I just let the story lead me.
Okay.
So when you start writing about bullying, of course, it was about your experiences.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
So the first one was about bullying. The second was, I remember, was a Christmas book.
Right. That was about giving back to your community
Give it back
and
to the
autism
community.
awareness.
The third one,
Autism Awareness Month.
okay, and the fourth one.
The fourth one is Don't Talk to Strangers.
Oh, so it's kind of goes with this one. No,
Yeah.
this is this is the fifth or the fourth.
Fourth.
Oh, this is the fourth.
Yeah.
Ah, see, I thought it was the fifth, but you're writing the fifth.
I'm writing the fifth. Yeah.
Gotcha. See, I know I was missing
You're
something. That's why.
rushing the process.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
That's why I had to catch up with with the thing. Okay, so we had one on bullying, one on giving back. The third, I missed it again.
Autism.
Autism awareness, and then this one, which is not to talk to strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Yeah.
we get a sneak peek on what the fifth one is about? Don't tell me the story. Just what's it
So
about?
the fifth one is about personal space and not touching people in their
Oh,
no-no
We
spot.
need to get
we
that
need to hear that one.
Okay, Mason, the 4-year-old. I mean, he gets right here,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to him every day about respecting people's personal
I
space.
have no idea what privacy or personal space is since that child was born.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Mm-mm.
This is and my bathroom The door broke. That's the worst thing that has happened because he walks right in, and if I'm in the shower, he rolls the curtain. I'm like, and God forbid I actually go behind the door and close it because he wants to take it down.
Oh.
He goes nuts. So yeah, we need to get that book from
See,
Macy.
that's why I have to lock my bedroom door because I don't want any unwanted guests.
Mm-hmm.
That's him too.
Okay, in the shower. Okay, and he's been trying to
He
get in
does
my
not
shower
care.
anyway.
Uh-huh.
He goes and stands in it like he's running water, and he'll go sit in the garden tub like he's swimming, and I'm like, okay, playtime is over. Out.
And he's gotten I'm not trying to say manipulative, but
He's
creative,
gotten clever.
clever.
Mhm.
Because now what he does is he goes behind the door and says, "I have something very important to tell you,"
Yes.
so that you can open the door. And once you open the door, he's in.
Oh.
He'll knock on the. Who is it? It's Mason. What do you want? Mima, I have something very important to tell you. When Rico was with us a few weeks ago, I have something very important to tell you. I said, okay. So I let him open the door. And instead of coming to me,
He went to play with the dog.
he goes to play with the dog that was at the foot of my bed.
Because she was puppy sitting. And that's what he wanted. He wanted to get in the room to play with the dog.
My nephew dog. And and he was like, I got something important to tell you. But when he came in the room, he just bypassed me and went straight to the dog. I'm like, you and the dog out of the room.
Here.
But now I do notice every time I have something important to tell you.
Yeah.
What is the hardest part of writing children's books for you?
The hardest part would be trying to communicate the theme so they understand them.
Okay.
And what brings you the most joy?
Being able to use my imagination and bring all these characters to life.
Yeah, I haven't written a book in a while, but that was the best part. It was, I don't know with your writing process, but I can see the story in my head. Like
Yes.
it's like a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the best part because you got to see the movie before everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have it. I need to get back to writing. I just don't have the time.
When's she gonna write? 2:00 in the morning?
No, not even at 2 o'clock in the morning. Do you see Loretta as a reflection of yourself or your younger self, even as
Yes.
she has evolved through the stories?
Yes. In books 1 through 3, I definitely see my younger self in Loretta.
Okay.
Okay, well let's talk now about representation and advocacy. Your personal story, being biracial, experiencing bullying, navigating autism, inspires you to work, and that's great. How do you weave those life experiences into your characters?
Well, in my debut book, Be Kind, I weaved a little bit of my personality into Loretta because she was quiet and she wasn't standing up for Arabella when they were bullying her. Because when I was younger, I was quiet and afraid to use my voice. And then when I wrote the Christmas book and the Great Homework Heist, I used a mixture of my personality and my little brother's personality because he's nonverbal. So I felt like it was important to have that representation in the book. And then I'm also on the spectrum. So I felt like it was important to show in the Great Homework Heist when Agnes was having trouble in math. That was my personality because I struggled in math when I was younger and I would get frustrated like her and not want to do my math homework. But with the help of my teacher and my parents, I was able to succeed in what I had to do.
Okay.
Cool.
I know, like you said, representation in children's book is very important. How do you hope kids who feel different see themselves in Loretta and the characters in your books?
I hope that children that feel that they're different, they see themselves as superstars, not only in Loretta's world, but in our world, because you should be confident in who you are, no matter what anyone tells you.
Mm-hmm.
Good answer.
I love that.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think parents and educators can do better to help kids understand inclusivity and empathy?
Well, I think that parents and educators need to remind children that everybody is different.
Mhm.
We all have different personalities, different hobbies, a variety of aspects that differentiate us from each other. But those differences are what make us all unique and special in our
Mhm.
own way. And we were not created to just be like everybody else. Only
Mhm.
you can be you.
We were having this particular conversation at the park yesterday amongst the parents about how children, especially because we homeschool, yeah, people talk about socialization and around homeschooling. That was not necessarily the issue because they're very socialized. But the fact that you have to be purposeful, homeschooling or public school, private school, whatever, to expose children to different kinds of kids and different kinds of environment. We were talking about how to expose them to service so that they can realize who's less fortunate.
Hmm.
We met a lady who has a ministry where little ones, like second grade and under, go prepare sandwiches for the homeless so that they can see I have food at home, but I'm preparing food for somebody that doesn't have it. So we were talking about, exposing them to that. You expose kids to different ethnicities so that they can understand that there's different customs, different religions, different ways to do things, different ideas. So I think it's very important. I don't, the whole world is diverse, no matter how you want to put
Hmm.
it. I don't think there is a single country, unless there's some tribe all the way that is unknown, where there's not some type of an influence of different people. And I think that exposure more than anything helps us grow. From a Christian standpoint, one of the things our pastor says all the time is this is how heaven's going to look like: every color, every voice, every ethnicity, everything. And I think that one of the things as parents that we can do to teach them inclusivity and teach them unity is exposure.
Hmm.
uh, for example, in my little class on the weekends, we have a Indian girl, we have a biracial kid, we have two African American kids. Well, three, because Mason is two. And they all play together. They're fine. We go to the Indian girls' house sometimes when we can't find a spot in the library, and they have their culture and their food is different, and they're exposed to that. Um, uh, his best friend is vegan, so he's exposed to the fact that not everybody eats Cheetos and meat. You can't give that friend of yours a bag of potato chips because he's not going to eat them. So it's that ability to expose children to different families, to different environments within the healthy boundaries. Of course, you're not going to take him to the meth lab, but
Yeah.
healthy environments, but so that they can understand that there's other people out there
Right.
that are different. And the different doesn't necessarily means something bad. It's just different.
Different isn't wrong.
Right.
It's just not the same
As yours.
Right.
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 That's it.
Right.
And that over the years, I especially recently, since I graduated from college, when I went in, I realized that my mind was closed. Okay. And I was biased. Okay. And I was prejudiced. Okay. Let's put it out there.
Right.
But
the truth shall set you free.
Yes. And I'm healed. Thank you, Lord.
There you go.
But through learning, one of my favorite classes, I told you, Christian worldview. Okay. Because I was in a Black Baptist church all my life, and that's where I was. Okay. But when I did study Christian worldview and studied other religions, polytheism, monotheism, one God, multiple gods, and stuff like that. It's like, okay, they're different than I am, but I'm not judging them. I just want to learn so that I can understand. Okay? Instead of just saying, I don't want to hear nothing about your religion. Why? Because it's different from mine. I don't want to. We're also like that with people.
Right. It doesn't mean that if I'm talking to somebody from a different religion that I'm going to cross over and convert. It just means that I can understand you as a human being. As a matter of fact, as a human being understanding, you might see Christ in me and be attracted to that. So, but if I'm abrasive and rough and rude, you don't want this Christ that I'm saying I have, because why?
I never liked steel wool because it would mess up my nails, when you clean it.
Yes.
Steel wool, right? Abrasive and while you clean and stuff, it's like, oh man, the colors come off of my nails too. So it destroys everything around it.
Yeah.
And we just have to make sure. That's why I smile at everybody.
She does.
I don't even think about it because that's the way I was taught when I grew up. So I smile at Mason.
See, that's where he got all the friendly. Yes, they are.
We are the.
I'm a hermit. I never smile because I like the walls, so I'm good.
But you know what?
I've learned.
She's done so well.
I've had no choice.
Coming out of her,
I'm with her or with a 4-year-old talking to everybody. What am I going to do? And when you have a little one, they say hi to the baby, but they want to talk to you. I can't bark back.
She used to just stand back, right? And then I'll be like, come here, this is my best friend, and this is my sister. And that's what she would do. I'm like, can you talk? Say something. But she does so well now. She really does. And people wouldn't even believe that she was in a shell. Because
I know how to behave. Oh, you could ask. I should ask her. I met with a high school mate from back in the day in high school. Yesterday we had lunch, and I'm sure if you ask her, she won't say I was shy or introverted, because again, I know how to behave in public. If I'm in a situation where I have to talk to people, I will. When we went to the field, they said, "Oh, how about since you have a little one, you take care of the little ones?" Okay, I put my whistle on and started doing it. Is that something that I actually want to do or born for me? No, I want to be in my bed crocheting. In my house, nobody bothering me. But once I'm out, I know how to behave in public. So you might not think that I'm an introvert or shy, but if I don't have to talk to us, the pandemic was wonderful for me. I didn't have to talk to a soul. My groceries were delivered at the door. Yeah, she came. But the groceries were delivered at the door. Church was on the television. I had to talk to a soul. I was fine.
She was very happy.
Was very happy.
One of the few people very happy during the pandemic. I mean, she was like, yes.
I didn't bother nobody. And then the baby came. Well, the baby was sleeping half the time, so we were fine. I was just playing with the baby and then put him to sleep. I don't need that whole, and I actually don't like big crowds and groups and stuff like that. So yeah, again, exposure to people, kind of thing. Okay, so how does your autism shape the way you think about your stories, the details in the characters, and the characters themselves?
Say that autism shapes the way I think about stories in a beautiful way. When I'm passionate about a topic, like when I read about anti-bullying and autism awareness and stranger danger, my mind just throws multiple different ideas at me. And I could just picture all the characters I want to use or new characters I want to create.
That's exciting. Like I said, she's making me want to go back to writing.
And you know that you're teaching lessons through your storytelling, right?
Yeah.
And these are meaningful, life-changing, helping, protecting stories, okay? And that there's nothing wrong with fiction, but when you're able to put yourself into it, it becomes more alive.
And with children, it's easier to be, lost in fiction because cartoons and, the pictures and the colors and the whole nine.
Now, in your first book, of Loretta Owl. Be kind, Loretta Owl, tackling bully. Now we're on the don't talk to strangers. How do you choose the life lessons that you want to explore?
I choose the life lessons I want to explore based off what I experience when I'm out in the world. I actually have a shirt that says, "Be careful what you say to me. I'm a writer," and I will
Mm,
use
I,
it.
mhm,
And then I also have parents and teachers come to me directly with suggestions. Like for
okay.
the fifth book, a teacher was at one of my readings I did at my local museum. And she said, "You know what? My class is having trouble with personal space and not touching each other inappropriately. Can
mhm.
you write a book about that?" And I
Wow.
said, "Yeah, I could do that."
Okay.
Mhm.
So the inspiration is coming to you.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Do you see yourself continuing to write safety focused books, or are there some other things you're wanting to explore eventually?
I do see myself continuing writing safety focused books, but I do see myself writing different types of books. Like I have ideas for the 100th Day of School and Halloween.
So your books are still going to be children's books, or are you going to go into other themes that are more grown up? Or you're going to stay in
Um,
children's books? Nothing wrong with
so
it, to say.
I'm actually working on my first young adult novel.
Okay.
So I'm very excited. I started work on it last year and I worked on it a little bit this year. I'm still trying to get my process down for that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. I could never write young adults. I can't get in. By the time I started seriously writing, I was already an adult, so I
Yeah.
couldn't put my head into that.
And I love the way that you make your writing fun,
Hmm.
uh, your imaginative stories, which also give it such a strong moral lesson.
Oh yeah,
And I
absolutely.
love that. I definitely love it. What's one moment with a reader or a child that reminded you why you do this work?
Well, I got invited to career day at one of the elementary schools in the district.
Fun.
And one of the classes I spoke with, they were so excited to see me because they actually published their own book as a class about sea
Okay.
animals.
Awesome.
So when I showed them the Loretta Owl books, their faces lit up because they didn't know they could grow up and write as a career. So they were excited to listen to me tell them how they could become an author.
Hmm.
That's so nice.
I can just imagine those little kids so excited, jumping up and
Hmm.
down and raising their hands and just asking all kind of questions.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Your first book, you did the illustrations,
Illustration.
right?
Hmm.
Have you
Hmm.
done your illustrations for all your books?
No, I have an artist named Asquill that has
Okay, now
done,
he does the illustrations now.
yeah, yeah,
Because my and here's the follow up. Because I remember all the colors on Loretta Owl had a meaning, purpose. So are these other books colors also have different purpose, or is just the artistic part,
just the
or are they
artistic part.
they have purpose and meaning?
They have purpose and meaning, and then some of them are just for artistic
Okay,
purposes.
because
Yeah,
this one I noticed it was pink, and it was
yeah.
a bright pink, and that's why I was like, I want to know why this one is bright pink. Is that one for artistic purpose, or it has a reason?
That one's just for artistic
Okay,
purpose. Yeah.
that was me because I was like, I remember that the colors had a purpose, and I was like, I need to know why this is such a bright pink. I loved it
Hmm.
though. I'm not gonna,
Hmm.
yeah. What do you hope kids will remember the most when you finish the series about Loretta Owl?
I hope that kids remember that Loretta Owl is their wise literary friend that represents kindness, responsibility, and being unique is cool. I also hope that kids who are lonely and feel like they don't have adults in their life that they can talk to about their problems, they can look to Loretta and find the advice they're seeking along with the comfort they may be seeking as well.
That is beautiful.
Hmm.
That is. If Loretta could speak directly to kids listening right now, what message would she give?
She would probably say, make sure that you're being kind to everyone around you. Be confident in yourself. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And remember to use your owl wisdom to make good choices and keep yourself, friends, and family safe. And she'll see you in the next adventure.
Oh, I
Wow,
love
that is
that.
so wonderful. I love it.
I want to add something to that. Parents. the best way to get your kids to do acts of kindness is rewards. And rewards, I'm not talking giving them anything, or but identifying, oh, look, you did this. This is an act of kindness. That was so nice of you. Thank you because you did this or that. That was so nice of you. That was so sweet. That was so kind. So know that encouraging kids, when you observe them doing kindness, they're going to want to do it more.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we volunteer at a food bank.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't take the 4-year-old, but we can take the 14-year-old and the high school graduate.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take them with us. We go
Mondays, basically.
Monday evening from 5 to 7. And we're going to take them with us so that they can see not only what we do for people in the back, they get to see her interviewing people and finding out what their needs are and what kind of food they need, because they have people come in vegetarian. They have people come in, vegan. Yeah.
Or allergic to stuff.
Yeah, allergic to peanuts or whatever. So we don't just hand out food.
Right.
We want to meet everyone where they are. And so we want to take those young men so that they can see, and hopefully they will think and be able to see past themselves and their phones. Yeah, hopefully that one. Jesus, please, Jesus. Okay, looking back, how has being an author changed your personality?
Being an author has changed me personally in so many ways. I found my voice. I'm able to tell people my story without being afraid and anxious. I've come out of my shell to meet amazing people like you guys and other people that I've met while sharing my books out there. And I found my confidence, and I've been able to carry all of that over to my manager job now.
And that's visible. I remember the first time we interviewed you, you were way less shy than you were at the beginning. Even counting that she was patient enough to record the same thing 4 times.
3-4 times.
Yeah.
You were the most patient guest we've ever had. God bless you. But we can tell. We can tell the confidence that you're talking with,
Thank
how
you.
you can express yourself. We've seen so much
You
growth.
have grown so much.
You have.
And I'm sitting here looking, I'm like, look at her. Oh, she's just glowing and she's talking and sharing. And you are more confident.
Yes, we can see it.
You are definitely more confident. We enjoyed our first one with you, but it's like we had to pull a little more.
Yes.
And from then to now, oh my God,
180.
we are so proud of you.
Thank
You're
you.
truly, truly grown,
Yes.
matured, and your mind is just awesome. And
Thank
just
you.
know, every day, every child that reads your book, you're helping them. You're helping them how to handle bullying, stranger danger. If they know someone on the autism spectrum, or they are on the autism spectrum, and it's just, we're so proud,
yes,
to be able to share the milestones, these books. I remember the first book. Now we're on the 4th book, and you're already writing the 5th book. So I know people.
Yeah, we do. So, talking about knowing people, what advice do you give someone who feels like their differences, whether it's health wise, autism, race, or anything else, are holding them back? What would you tell somebody who thinks that whatever is different about them is holding them?
I would say your differences does not define you. The color of your skin, your autism, your disability you may have, or anything else that's potentially holding you back does not define who you are as a person. Autism or any disability you may have is not a disability, it's a new ability. Your mind or your body just works differently, and that does not make you less than and does not mean you can't do what you're passionate about. My favorite scripture to read when I'm having like a bad day is Genesis 1:27, because it says, "So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female, he created them. You're worth it, you're good enough. and you will achieve whatever goal you may be trying to achieve as long as you continue to work hard, put God first, and remind yourself that you're capable.
Amen.
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 That is wonderful.
Like I said, we keep our baby's growing.
Yes, you are. And I love it. I love it. I love it. What's next, Loretta Owl? And for you, what's next for Loretta Owl? What's next for you as an author? We know you're working on another book. Do you have some other projects in the work?
So right now, Loretta is working on teaching an important lesson about personal space and not touching yourself inappropriately. And I'm excited to continue doing research to finish my young adult novel. It's going to be a romance. So I'm
Ooh,
very excited. It's going to be a neurodivergent romance. I started a little
okay.
bit on it last year, and I'm working on it this year with my publisher.
I
And
might have
then
to read
I'm
that book.
also in the process of getting Loretta out in Walmart and Target and other retailers.
Okay.
So I'm very
Oh, we have
excited.
something to pray for.
Mhm.
That would be so
Mhm.
awesome.
Yep. I could see it in
You can
display
see.
in Walmart
Oh,
right
when I
now.
walk through and I see it, I'm going to scream in the middle of the
We
aisle.
have to take pictures.
Or I'm going to scream in the middle of the aisle. Oh, that would be so.
This is
so
wonderful.
awesome.
Now we know what to pray for to
Yes.
stand in agreement with you.
Yes.
Because the Bible says that you can ask what you will, and it shall be given if you abide in him and he abides in you. Tell Daddy what you need, and he'll make sure that it happens. So I can see that. I can see you. Yes.
Whew. This is so much fun.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Thank you so much for coming back.
You're
You're
welcome.
part of you're part of the family. I don't have to tell you that. This is your house.
Baby Brooke.
I know. This is your house. Whatever we can do, whenever you need us, we are an email away.
That's it.
Thank you for sharing your heart and Loretta Owl with us.
You're
Believe it
welcome.
or not, I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen because I know Loretta Owl is supposed to be 8 books, right? But because you're doing this whole children thing, I'm trying to figure out what you're going to do after that. I don't know, but yeah, that'll be fun. We'll see what new thing she comes up with after. And I know I'm jumping the gun super, super far away. But I know she already has 8 books planned, so I'm going to see what the Lord reveals to her that the next thing needs to be, and it's going to be so much fun.
And I really appreciate you opening your mind to teaching children about stranger danger. That is so important.
Yeah.
And the way that you're teaching it, you're not scaring the children, but you're empowering them. And I love it.
And and it's good because it's like I said, it's cartoony, so it's good for children. But honestly, and after hearing the beginning of our conversation, it's good for parents.
It sure is.
Giving them tools, maybe waking them up to the realities of this world. That if you want your children safe, you might want to have to do something about it. Just a thought.
Now, this reminds me of a commercial, and we're going to end. Remind me of a commercial when the woman had her first baby. Everything was perfect and everything. By the time she had the second baby, she handed her baby off to the mechanic who had greasy, oily hands because she was trying to find something in her purse. She was trying to do that. It's like with your first child, you're very protective and you want to do everything. She started off cooking all the vegetables. I laughed.
She laughed my whole first year.
Because I'm like, that is not going to last.
I still cook for him.
Yeah. No,
sometimes in the microwave, but I still cook.
And the air fryer. Okay, she is a French fry professional.
Air fryer.
So she never thought she would go from the blender and
I did not buy any baby
the cooking vegetables.
I made everything from scratch.
Air fryer.
Yeah. Right. But here's the thing. Yes, I get it that, as time passes and they get more independence, you do things differently. If you have 3 kids, the first one childproof the whole house, although childproofing didn't work for me because he took them all
Yes,
out.
he did. He
So
took
there was no point to that.
Like, let me show y'all.
But just because you're on your fourth child doesn't mean that you don't look after them.
Right.
And that's, they're older and you're like, okay, I know I don't have to worry as much. You may not have to worry about at home, but out in the world, no, you cannot look after your children just because you're in the third or fourth child. That's not okay.
Right. Because you're setting that foundation and those values, teaching them, you're building that foundation. So it's got to be done with however many children you have. It's not like 5 kids had a foundation, but the 6th one you were so tired, it was like, hey.
Not only that, your heart is going to break if that 6th one disappear, just as if it was the one. So no.
Yeah. And then the good thing is the older kids, it's instilled in them and they can teach it to the little ones because they pick it up just like this. So just keep it going and we love it. And again, we are so proud of you.
And I'm totally looking forward to the one about personal space.
Yeah, we need that.
Let me know when it comes out because I might be your first purchase.
Because I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I promise you, my student is always here. And if he's not here, his finger is here. Or the marker is here. Somebody wrote on me the other day every time I was writing on me. He thought it was fun. I was like,
I'm still his bouncy castle, so I can't say nothing.
Yeah, no bouncing here, baby. Okay, write on me all day, but don't bounce on me.
Yeah, so yeah, let me know when it comes out. We might need your first purchase because we need that book.
Yes, we do.
I will email you as soon as it comes out.
Thank you. Thanks for coming back. God bless you. And like I said, you're always home.
We love you, baby bro. This episode about stranger danger, it is real. It is so important. Have you ever lost a child? Even for a few minutes seems like forever.
Yes.
But have you ever misplaced a child? They misplaced themselves and didn't tell you where they were going?
Well, yes. I remember, I've told you the story. We were running in the backyard. He thought it was funny to hide from me, but we were not playing hide and seek. let's put that out there. And I go to all over the house, and I'm screaming his name, and he's not coming out. And I live in a corner house, so there's 2 possibilities: this way or that way. And I'm screaming and I'm freaking out because I don't know where he's at. I don't know if he was in the corner and somebody took him away. I'm freaking out. Oh my God. I thought, and might sound dramatic, but within seconds, my biggest fear is I'm not going to see him again. I don't know if that's too dramatic, but that was my heart. It was like, what if I don't find him? What if I don't see him again? I had lost my mind. He was at the front door, because you usually don't use the front door as an entrance. So he was at the front door, hearing me scream. When I found them, I didn't know to kill him or kiss him or hug him.
She found them. Poor child had to go lay down.
And it was not even 5 minutes, but it was the longest 5 minutes of my life.
Yes. Oh. So this lesson needs to be taught. Toddlers, starting as a toddler.
Yeah.
Because they come here, they're so innocent, and they're friendly, and as they grow up, you have to teach them.
One of the things I always tell Mason is when he's at a playground or something, if you can't see me, that means I can't see you. So you can't take off running to where the point that you can't see me, because the moment you can't see me, that means I can't see you either. And the farther you are from me, if I have to come to help you, it's going to be taking me longer the farther you are. Plus, I'm so physically fit not to get to him is going to be. So yeah, he needs to stay nearby. Thank God he's a Velcro baby. That makes my life easier.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we know that things can happen.
Yeah.
But today is different than when I was a child and when my mom was a child. there are different things.
But you have to remember, and I know I'm Gen X. We used to run the whole neighborhood and just come back when the lights came up.
Mm-hmm.
My mom knew I was in the neighborhood, but she didn't know exactly where I was, and we didn't have phones to pin and locate anybody.
Right.
But we made it home. But it was a different time.
Everybody was looking out for everybody's children.
Right.
And if your parents were not around, whoever that parent is, they were your parent.
Yeah.
Okay? Until they sent you back home or parents came to pick them up or whatever. But I remember when I was growing up, everybody looked after you. Everybody did. But now, I'm sure you have communities where you look after each other, but as a whole, I think that when we go in the house and close the door and draw the curtain, it's like, okay, mine are in here, mine are fine.
And this is a total different topic, but it's kind of related. One of the things we were talking at the park the other day was the living situations have affected the sense of community. Because, for example, when I was growing up, our houses, it was a brand new subdivision when my parents bought the house. And everybody that moved in were, for the most part, the original owners. So we all grew there together at the same time. If somebody moved in, it was not like this change of people. With this whole thing about a lot of investors buying this bunch of houses in subdivisions and using them as rentals, you have people coming in and out, and it's very hard to build a sense of community. Because right now, remember about a year and a half ago, we knew all the kids that were in the neighborhood. We either invited him to do.
We did.
Right. We used to do arts and crafts with them. We were trying to build community. None of those kids are here anymore.
Right.
They all have more moved because none of them lived in those houses. Those were not their houses. They were rentals. Right now, we have like 3 or 4 new families down the street. Some I don't even know if they have children.
Right.
And the few kids that I've seen, they don't play outside. Or if they are, we don't know who they are.
Right.
They come and go. So that also has changed the sense of community because people are not growing together. They're not forming that community. The whole village, it's just broken down. Like I said, when I was growing up, this one in front of us, we were together in school. The next one, it was just our neighbor, but she was always there. I was friends with the kids. The one across was my godmother. So, and she became my godmother because we were growing together. So it was a familiar thing where we were, even though it was different families, no blood relation, we were a family, a community family. If there was somebody's birthday, there was no renting a place. It was whose driver was bigger,
right.
And then the moms all got together and cooked together. When we had hurricanes, all the guys used to get the 5 gallon of paints that were empty, go to a river, and go get water for the whole houses that were there. While the women would go to this house over here that had a gas stove, but put all the food in this house that had a power plant. We saved all the food here. We cooked all the food there. And we had a buffet in front of my house for all the families to eat. We worked as a family together. Even the holidays. Our holiday together was New Year's Eve. Christmas, everybody went to their biological, real families. And they celebrated their way. But then New Year's Eve, it was us as a family, as a community. Since I moved here, I've never seen that.
But then you think about that. If somebody came into that community and they were a stranger, I mean, people would come out, who you looking for?
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
Do you know someone here?
Right.
Maybe you're lost.
Right.
But
when you have this much changes, you don't know if they're the new neighbor.
Right. You don't know who they are. So,
right.
But yeah, let's keep our children safe. Let's teach them about safety.
Right.
And you can still be nice to people. You can smile and
use wisdom and discernment.
Got it.
Discernment
and insight. Wisdom and insight comes from God, and that's why we're parents and grandparents. We should have that wisdom and insight, so that no matter how the kids fight against it, This is for your own good. I'm teaching you this.
Well, if you love this episode, don't forget to follow us on social media. We are at The Rising News on all platforms.
And we're also on a mission to reach 1,000 followers on YouTube. You can help us get there by subscribing, sharing, and inviting friends to check out Thrive by the Rising Muse.
Before we go, a few important reminders. If you're experiencing a mental health crisis, please dial 988. If a loved one is experiencing a mental health crisis, please dial 911 or take them to the nearest emergency room. And if you think you're in a domestic violence situation, need to talk, or need some assistance, please dial 800-799-7233 or text 887-888. Please make sure you're in a safe place when you're making this outreach.
And again, thank you for joining us today. We hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as we did, learning about stranger danger. Until next time, keep thriving, keep shining, and remember that kindness always has power.
And don't forget to thrive.
Don't forget to thrive.
Have a blessed day.
Bye-bye.